afternoon, everybody. This is Osiris with 15 minutes, and today I am in the lovely, absolutely stunning home. I wish you were here, so be jealous and envious of Miss Ava Kaufman of the avasheart.org Foundation. Ava has an amazing story. I'm going to let her tell you more about it, but in a nutshell, Ava died on an operating table some time ago and was told that she would not live long enough to get a heart to sustain her health. So say hi to everybody, Ava.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, and you're so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Now,
So are you.
I know that you had a rare autoimmune deficiency called, or disease called dermatomyositis. Is that how you say it? Dermatomyositis, how do you say it?
No, dermatomyositis.
Whoa, dermatomyositis. Whoa,
And I don't say it correctly all the time either.
It's a long word, and I looked it up like, okay. But anyway, can you explain to everyone just a little bit about what that means?
Yes, I can. I was perfectly healthy, I had a big house, a business, an 11-year-old daughter. You know, I had a really good life. And I started getting itching on my hands. And so I'm very diligent about all that stuff, and I went to the dermatologist and she told me I had psoriasis. The itching became so bad that I developed a rash around my nail beds, and my nails turned black, and it was on my eyelids, on my back, and my shins. Very distinct places. This went on for 3 months, and I went to the dermatologist for 3 months. She put me on prednisone and off prednisone. And prednisone is really what the disease is treated with. And I'm just beginning to really learn about the disease 7 years later.
So you've had it for 7 years, and how have they been able to help you manage it?
Well, I don't really have it.
Oh, okay.
I had it.
Okay.
And some people like me are lucky enough that it just goes into remission and never comes back.
Oh, wow.
But
wow.
some people live with it on a daily basis, and some people die because of it. It destroys your muscles. And meet Cody. This is Cody.
Yeah, hey, Cody.
And
Cody's our dog. He's our Labrador.
No, he's a golden retriever.
What is he?
He's a
golden retriever.
Yeah.
Is he mixed with anything?
No.
Okay. And so, you were saying?
3 months dealing with this rash, and then all of a sudden, within 2 weeks, I became so weak that I couldn't even walk without a walker.
Oh, you poor baby.
And I went to a rheumatologist who told me she thought that I had some kind of myositis. By this time, I had put on about 20 pounds. And then I was, being sent for MRIs of my muscles, and the day that I was on my way to get a muscle biopsy, which is the final diagnosis of this disease, I passed out of my house, ended up at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center with an LVAD, a left ventricular device, and a pump to keep my heart beating, and an ECMO machine to keep me breathing. And so that's the last that I remember, except then waking up 2 months later.
On your birthday.
On my birthday,
which you were the
10 days.
most fortunate one to receive a heart. Listen, people, drum roll. Not just any heart, but the heart of a 17-year-old male. How strong is that? How long, man, and what kind of heart? So how have you felt living with your heart?
With my heart, you know, it's a very emotional thing if you sit quietly, you know, and think about it, that somebody, somebody's death gives somebody life. And I was fortunate that in 10 days on my real birthday, I received the gift of life. And none of the doctors, first they weren't even going to give me a heart because the disease I had destroys your muscles, and your heart's a muscle, and they had no idea whether the disease would destroy my new heart. Then once they listed me, I got a heart in 10 days on my birthday, and
the rest is her story.
Yeah, the rest is my story. You know, I woke up and I heard that I had a new heart, and I was intubated and I couldn't move, and there was this one night when I really thought that this was the end, and I made peace with God, and everything was white, and I kept looking for the light, but I find
find it.
But everything was white, and I was all dressed in white, and I was sitting in these.
It's like, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go. No, I was wearing a white mini skirt, white high boots, and a white turtleneck leotard. I swear to God, I remember that.
I remember. I believe you.
So I was sitting in these huge hands, and I really said, you know, I've had a great life, and if this is my time, okay. And then I smelt my daughter's dirty hair. She's an equestrian, and she, you know, was 11 at the time, so she never would wash her hair, and she rode every day. So I kind of smelt her hair pulling me back, and then I realized that there was no way that I could leave her. I was in the middle of a divorce. I mean, we were selling our house. It was just like everything at once, and then I have to die. So I kind of made a deal with my higher power, or God, you know, whatever anybody wants to believe, that if I could come back to being Jade's mom again, I'd spend the rest of my life giving back. I had no idea what I would do, but as it turns out, I started volunteering at Cedars. I was in the hospital for 4 months.
And is that what led you, that's what led you into doing the whole Ava's Heart Foundation?
What led
you into that?
Was volunteering at Cedars.
Okay.
And we had started a heart ambassador program there, so I was working with heart transplant patients, and it was only 6 months after my own transplant. It took me 6 months to be able to walk again. And I went home 4 months later in a wheelchair, and not home to an apartment. I never went home to my home again. But
yeah. Where were you living at the time, Ava?
On Hilldale up in
So even in like that area?
Yeah.
And then I know everybody, if you didn't hear her, this woman was a dancer, like completely no problems, running around the whole world, living the life. And then all of a sudden woke up one day and had something happen to her that redirected her entire life. And so thus we have Ava's Heart Foundation. Now I know you have an event coming up. I know you guys are trying to, you know, get everybody excited about what's coming up to showcase Ava Heart and all of what Ava's Heart's Foundation has been able to help, all the people you've been able to help. Talk a little bit to us about that.
Okay, well, our mission is to help those that have been given the gift of life have a better quality in life. And when I started volunteering at Cedars, I began to, you know, I met a lot of transplant patients and people waiting for hearts and people waiting for lungs. And I began to realize, you know, the vast amount of challenges that most people in that situation face unless you have a lot of money. First of all, you know, you could be on the list for a year or for 2 years, and now with the new mechanical devices like the LVAD and the artificial heart, I mean, someone just was on the artificial heart for 2 years before they got their heart. But you can't work then, and you need 24/7 care, because the heart is
adjusting.
A machine. No, it's a machine.
Oh, for the LVAD.
For the the LVAD is for one side of your heart, but there's a total artificial heart. And what they do is they take out your heart and they just leave a part of it in, and they connect your aorta to this plastic thing, and then these tubes come out and they go into a machine, and the machine goes with you everywhere. And someone has to be with you 24/7.
So how long did it take, really quickly, how long did it take you to adjust to having all of that done? And then you, apparently you didn't go back to dancing, right? Would you have been able to dance again?
I do dance again for fun. I mean, I'm not, you know, 20
like on the road. You know, but I mean, but would you have been able to go back and pick up a regime of dancing?
I have done that. I'm doing
so you are doing that?
I work out every day. I do bar method. I take dance class. I want to be on Dancing with the Stars.
You should be on Dancing with the Stars. You're an amazing person to be on Dancing with the Stars. I guess what I was trying to find out is, like, I know that on Facebook today I was reading some post, and there was a guy that had had a heart transplant, and the question was, are you able to go back to work after a heart transplant? That was the question, and I thought, absolutely, why wouldn't you be? People go back to work after strokes, heart attacks, no one questions it. But when there's a heart transplant or something so involved, why do you think that somebody would think that they couldn't continue doing things?
You know, some people can't.
Okay, so that's a reality.
Most people can, you know. Okay. I mean, there are so many children, beautiful little children that have had hearts and lungs, and they go to school and they play. you know, you have to be very careful about taking your medication, because, you know, we all take anti-rejection medication in the morning and at night, and some kids take it in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And so many, you know, babies and young children that get hearts usually need a second heart because of the antibody problems.
Oh.
Truly. And
so it's really involved and quite expensive, I might add, huh?
Yeah, well, insurance covers most of the transplant and the hospital stuff, but not all of it. And then there's the whole time that you're waiting and you can't work and your wife can't work because she's taking care of you, or you're taking care of your children. I mean, it's just
consuming. It's
consuming. It's financially devastating. And the other thing that you have to remember is that transplant is not a cure.
Right, it's just a transplant. It's a transplant to help you keep going, right? Until they find a cure?
And, well,
are they searching for a cure?
Well, they're searching for cures for certain kinds of, you know, viral things that destroy hearts. But I think heart disease, a lot of it is just caused by the way we live.
Stress.
I mean, not the way I live.
Stress too.
Yeah, but stress, you know, being overweight.
Now let me ask you this. You don't look like you've ever been overweight, but I know that you blew up. I know that you blew up when you got sick.
I blew up to 200 pounds.
Whoa. So that's a lot. And if you guys could see her, she's this itsy bitsy, probably size 1, beautiful woman with this beautiful lips and dark black hair, and got the hottest outfit you ever want to see. We're going to take a photo so you guys out there can see her. See her, how she looks in one whole frame. What I want to get into really quick, you touched upon something about the devastation that goes with these type of things, and about the care that one has to have. What would you suggest a family do? Someone that has had a heart transplant, they have to be placed back in the family, get back to the routine, get back to, you know, doing everything that they can accommodate doing prior to as well. The
first 3 months after transplant, you need to be close to your transplant center, and that's one of the huge things that we do. Is we help families with the 3 months of post-transplant housing.
Okay.
Because here in Southern California, we have the best transplant centers.
Really?
Not just for hearts.
That's good to know.
Cedars-Sinai and UCLA. And Mattel Children's Hospital for Children.
Really?
Yes.
Mattel has a children's hospital?
It's at UCLA.
Shut up. See what you learn when you talk to people?
Yes.
Wow, Mattel.
And they are so amazing.
And they don't make just Barbies, see there?
No, they don't.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
so they're a sponsor, supporter?
I mean, I guess that they must have given a lot of money to have their name up on the building and have
on a marquee.
Yeah, and have it, you know, named after them. So
wow.
Yeah, but you know, and if you're not, you know, if you're a low-income family, there's absolutely no way that you can afford housing near Cedars and UCLA. I mean, you're in Beverly Hills and Westwood. Wow. You know, it's so expensive, and you really, honestly, cannot get on the list if you can't prove that you have housing. And here's something that most people don't know: people come from all over this country to Southern California to be treated for.
Numerous things, huh?
Well, for heart and lung transplants.
Wow, and you know what? I never even think of lung transplants.
Oh, they do hearts and lungs together now.
Oh my goodness! See how much has technology helped with moving things along so that people aren't such in dire straits when they go through things.
Oh well, the number one, the anti-rejection medication.
Okay.
You know, it used to be if you got 5 years after a transplant, you were really lucky. Now you can live a whole life. And, you know, some people live a whole life that they never had. I met this one 34-year-old girl from New York.
Yeah.
And she was sick her entire life. She was born with heart disease and knew at some point, you know, something would have to happen. And she was ready for a transplant. And she was a Columbia Presbyterian. And they told her that she wouldn't live long enough to get a new heart there, and sent her here. And she got her heart here. And she stayed here for 3 months. Fortunately, she wasn't, you know, in a financially devastated situation. Her family had, you know, a lot of money, so she could take care of it properly. And she was so cute. after a month, she goes, "Oh, I'm going to take swimming lessons, and I'm taking tennis lessons.
Like, I got a new
and
life.
I'm dancing. I can move."
That's right.
You know, you don't realize how debilitating heart disease is. You know, some people can barely get out of bed.
Now let's talk about, I wanted to just segue not out of the heart, but from the medical side of the heart. Now there is an institute in this country called Heart Math Institute. All they do is they study the heart. They study the rhythm of the heart, how the heart reacts to stress, how the heart reacts to electromagnetic waves, etc., etc., etc. One of the things that they have discovered is that the human heart is largely underestimated. The human heart, they are saying, has the ability to not only regulate the body, the human heart has its own level of sensitivity, where it can pick up and interact with other magnetic fields in the environment. It can pick up on senses, it can pick up on feelings, it even can think. What are your thoughts about that? Those kinds of studies?
I definitely believe that the heart feels things. I also believe that, you know, the brain is our major think center.
Absolutely.
You know, for thoughts and things. I don't know if the heart has thoughts, but I definitely know it has feelings.
It's connected to something that can manifest thought through its connection to the heart. Is that correct?
Yeah, because, you know, when something happens, I mean, you feel it, you know, kind of in your heart, or I do.
And I've had a broken heart, and that hurts pretty doggone bad. I'm sorry. It hurts. So I know the heart has the capability of having some strong emotional
you know, like
things.
love.
Woo! Where does that come from?
Yeah, it's bizarre. When I first heard that I had a heart transplant, I was still intubated, and I couldn't communicate or speak to anyone. It was truly the most horrible thing, and recovering from that was
hard.
It was, you can't even say hard, it was the most challenging thing.
It's no word for it, I'm sure.
No, but it was so fascinating too.
In what way?
Watching the body come back, because, I mean, this is what I was like. It's like,
okay, wait a minute. I gotta show you down there. Okay.
Okay, if you put me in this position, I couldn't get up. It took me 6 months to be able to do something like that.
Wow, really?
Yes, and it was fascinating, you know, the muscle memory
that came into play, kicked in after everything started operating again. Isn't that something? Which leads to one of the studies that they say that the muscles retain memory.
Oh, well, muscles definitely do. I mean, I was doing rehab. The last month I was there, I was on the rehab floor at Cedars, which is absolutely the best. I was really fortunate to get in. They only have a certain amount of beds. And I was doing some kind of therapy, you know, in my room, and the therapist happened to be pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And she said, and I was so weak, I was like 80 pounds.
Oh,
and so
wow.
she said, you know, well, let's just do some punching, you know, light punching. I could barely lift my arm, right? So, you know, I have a black belt in Taekwondo, so, you know, I'm trying to lift my arm to do it, and I'm punching, you know, I'm punching.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, something clicked, and I threw such a punch that she went across the room.
Whoa, that was that 17-year-old heart coming kicking in.
No, that was my old muscles remembering.
And your old muscles remembering how to operate under that new heart.
Well, you know, I wrote a book called The Transplant Journey. It's on Amazon if anybody's interested.
Okay, it's called The Transplant Journey, people. She has a book out called The Transplant Journey,
and it's
by Ava Kaufman.
Thank you. And it's a series of stories, you know,
from your experiences at working at Cedars-Sinai?
Well,
with heart transplant people?
It's stories of people's transplant journeys.
Yeah, of those journeys.
Yes.
That's a great, number one, those are the kind of books that people really do want to read. Because I know although the television and the movies are covered with all the glitzy stuff of Hollywood and the movies and everything, real lifetime people, these kinds of things are going on, and major celebrities have heart transplants and they have problems like everyone else. People are human. So all of us may or may not encounter these things, but we have someone like Ava Kaufman that has experiences, that have been able to document things and is still heavily involved. Now, I want you to talk about, before we get out of here, talk about your event that's coming up.
Oh, yes.
I want you to pump Ava's Heart Foundation. Tell us all about what we can expect and what you're going to do.
Okay, well, it's going to be at the Montage Hotel.
Oh, the
and
Montage.
We're going to have a silent auction and lots of interesting vendors, like the artificial heart people will be there.
Okay.
You know, I know it sounds kind of weird.
No,
but it's
it doesn't.
Fascinating.
AI,
it's so
artificial
fascinating.
heart.
And then we're partnered with Robertson Boulevard Med Spa. We give a transplant mom every month a free facial or massage.
Oh,
so
how cute.
they'll be there with their stuff and transmedics.
Now, will there be any clinics set up there? Anything to actually test someone or anything like that? No?
I'm not sure if they'll bring that kind of stuff. I'm not sure.
Okay.
We're just kind of getting it together with the vendors, and Donate Life will be there, and Legacy will be there.
Okay.
And Gloria Gaynor will be there.
Miss Gloria Gaynor is gonna be in the house, you guys. So I know this girl still has a lot of fans. I'm a huge Gloria Gaynor fan, and I knew I was working on Gloria Gaynor. I was dancing for her, whether I knew her or not.
Oh, well, I Will Survive. I mean, that song, it's the most played song in the world.
And I think so. I know it, that and Love is a Battlefield, I think, by Pat Benatar is another one that's strong, that people still really use as those kind of power songs.
Yeah.
I know every time I've known any girlfriends that broke up with their boyfriends or whatever they broke up with, they played I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. She is known for having, she's the get over your heartbreak song, I Will Survive.
But also, she's a great human being.
Is she?
We had so much fun going around the world.
Well,
together.
the beautiful thing is that she is alive and well, and that she's able to come and help you celebrate your new discoveries in your life.
Right, and we'll be celebrating it's called Ava's Heart Heroes Ball, and we're celebrating those people that have helped us in pioneering this new field. There is no one in the country, no organization that helps transplant patients.
No one, listen to me again, all of you out there with your funding and what you think you want to spend on something, no one in this country is helping or doing anything to develop a system, a workable system, workable medical system, workable support system, but Ava Kaufman of the Ava's Heart Foundation. Ava, what date is the event going to be? Where can we expect?
The event is April 30th. It's at the Montage Hotel. And
what time does it start?
It starts at 6:30 for a silent auction and hors d'oeuvres and drinks and a little bit of music.
So 6:30 silent auction. It starts, you guys, and you can come there. You'll be hanging out with Ms. Gloria Gaynor, Ms. Ava Kaufman herself, and all of the other people that help to support Ava's Heart. Now, Ava, shout out your website again. Tell us where we can go to find out more about you and what you're doing.
Okay, go to avasheart.org. And there's a lot to look at there.
There's a lot to look at.
In a few days, you'll be able to buy tickets to the event on the website. Okay,
so in a few days, it's probably, let's just say beginning of next week, people, and in a few days, for those of you that want to go early, to go on avasheart.org. That's AVASHEART.org. Find out how you can become, how you can help more and help people to help themselves. Ava, it has been a wonderful pleasure, girl. You are just adorable. I am so honored so honored to be in your presence, and we look forward to hearing more of you, seeing more of you. And
can I say one more thing?
Yes, you can.
And if you just want to make a $10 donation, every single penny counts. You can text the word heart to 41444.
Okay, 41444. As Ava says, you can text to that number if you want to make any small donation will help. Any small donation will help. So don't forget that. And again, it's been wonderful. This is Osiris again from 15 Minutes, signing out with Ms. Ava Kaufman of Ava's Heart. And we love you, sweetie. And we will see you at your event. And that's a wrap.